Hi, everyone. I'm Sage Hill, your host of the Soulcial Sage podcast. I welcome you listening on YouTube and on Spotify as well as the Apple channel. And I invite you to subscribe and also to like the video or audio depending on your streaming method. I further invite you to engage with us here at the Soulcial Sage by sharing your stories, by leaving a topic in the comments that you'd love to hear us discuss. And as always, we welcome you to this episode of the Soulcial Sage. Well, everybody, we're coming up on the holidays. And the holidays for many people bring a level of anxiety. You know, I think that as we kind of try to peep out from under the grip of this pandemic that has impacted us for several years now, we have to be honest in saying that society has in fact changed. More and more people are starting to kind of isolate themselves from other people. When we're in public, it's not the same. We are a little bit more mindful of how close we are to other people and distancing ourselves. Maybe not even going to events the way we used to. I'm going to be honest. There are so many concerts that I want to go to, and sorry, State Farm Arena, but I'm not coming. I'm just not. I mean, I know too many events, whether there have been conventions or there have been, large gatherings of people, typically unmasked, but regardless, and people walk out of there and you might as well have been to a COVID concert because you're going to come out with something. So there's a lot of people that are still a little bit more gun shy about that. I have been vaccinated and boosted twice. I haven't gotten my third booster. But when I tell you, I never caught COVID during the height of the pandemic. But after having, things starting to open back up and people going back into offices and just being out and about, and quite honest, becoming a little bit more lax with wearing a mask every time you're out. I've caught COVID 3 times since last November. So within a year, I had it 3 times, just got over it a little while ago. And you could probably hear it in some of my videos, from a few weeks ago, and still a little bit, right? Maybe testing negative, but this stuff, it hangs on for a little while. You may not be bedridden sick, but you don't feel good. And so all of those things have played a part into people's resistance towards doing things exactly the way they have in the past. So you combine that kind of anxiety that many people are suffering from when it comes to going back in public and being around a lot of people. You add that to the fact that with the holidays comes some angst around just having to live up to other people's expectations in large part. And that could mean that maybe you don't feel like going to a dinner. Maybe that's not what you want to do. Sometimes you just want to hang out in your own place. Maybe you just want to rest. You work all week long. Some people get only Thanksgiving Day off. Some people get Thanksgiving and the day after. Shoot, some people don't get it off at all. And if they happen to have a few hours off that day or that day off or a couple of days off leading into a holiday, you just sometimes want to just relax and do nothing. So we're caught between this kind of coming out of COVID, but still trying to be safe, and this level of anxiety around socializing. And then let's just be honest, just sometimes being tired. You just want to be able to do what you want to do when you want to do it. And unfortunately, for many people, they get caught in this cycle of pleasing other people, people pleasing. And so you put aside your needs for other people's expectations. So there is an expectation that you're going to come over for dinner for Thanksgiving. There's an expectation that for Christmas, there's certain traditions that have always been followed. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there's also nothing wrong with self-care. Sometimes you just need to step back and do what you need to do for yourself. And it's okay. Will there be some people who may be upset because you didn't adhere to their wishes? Probably. But you have to be okay with that too. And sometimes we just have to help people to understand our perspectives. I'm tired. I love y'all. I'll see y'all maybe next year. Maybe I'll come over and just say, hey, one of these 3 or 4 days that I'm off, but I just need a moment to do nothing, to do absolutely nothing. And that's what I'm going to do this year. Absolutely nothing. I remember not even being able to enjoy Mother's Day. When I tell you that for all of the years that my daughter was young, Mother's Day for me was never about me doing what I wanted to do. It was always what my family was doing for Mother's Day, and they did the same thing every year. They went out to dinner, typically to one of 3 places, and it became this kind of exhausting routine, not because I didn't enjoy being around my family, but it was Mother's Day for me too. And as a mother, all I really wanted to do was just be still and not have to do anything. My family had barbecued or had went out to dinner and brought me something back. That would have been fine. I didn't need all the pomp and circumstance, but what I did need was to be able to do what I wanted to do for once. And when I tell you I was good and grown, and so was my daughter, by the way, before I actually did what I wanted to do for myself for Mother's Day. In fact, I didn't even live in Indiana anymore. I had moved to Florida at that point. And I spent that Mother's Day by the pool with my mimosa, and I enjoyed that day. In fact, my daughter didn't even come to visit, which was fine. She sent flowers. I loved it. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you. But what I really appreciated was that I got to choose what it was that I wanted to do for myself. That self-care. That self-care. So as we get into the holiday, I want you to make sure that you are exercising self-care. So many people are also lonely during the holidays because, again, they have these expectations that somehow this time of year is supposed to be magical, and it comes with all of these wondrous things like, gift giving and socializing and being invited to parties. And you see all of these things on television, all of the movies with the town coming together, and there's something going on in the town and everybody gets together, or there's friends gathering at each other's homes and celebrating the holidays together, having dinner, having eggnog that's spiked, or having champagne, getting dressed up for the new year, seeing the countdown and the confetti. It's all of these things, all of these images, and it's perpetuated on social media by people showing us what they want us to see. And when our lives don't mirror what we see, we feel like we're missing out. Don't get caught up in that trap. You have an opportunity to make each and every day the way you want it to be. And the majority of it starts here. Yes, you may have a job that you need to go to, but you can make that job what you need it to be. You can find your own self-care. If you're working on the computer all day and you have your earbuds in or your AirPods in, whatever the case may be, and you can step away from all of the chaos around you and just listen to something that calms you, that is how you take charge of your day. And the same thing with how you choose to spend your holiday time and your free time. What is it that you need? Do you need time to just recharge? Do you want to participate in something festive? There are lots of festivities that happen around the holidays that don't require you to have an abundance of friends all gathered up cozy together. You may be new to the city that you're living in. I encourage you to find events and find activities that you're interested in, Perhaps you live in an apartment and they put on things for the community. They have social evenings and social events that they put on from time to time. Go so that you can meet people. There are people that are just as nervous as you that really don't feel like going, but I can guarantee you when you get up and you go, once you get there, you will have fun. You will meet some people. You will talk to some people, and that changes the course of your day. Find an event that you want to attend. Maybe it's a holiday light show, and maybe you've met someone from the apartment complex. I'm sorry, there's a gnat flying around, but maybe you've met someone that you work with, or maybe there's a group. Maybe you're the one that has to take the initiative to put something together. Because how many people do you think are just like you that want something to do, but they're waiting on somebody else to come up with the idea? You be the one. You be the one. Because at the end of the day, it's about you enjoying your life. And if you just step out there a little bit and put something together and invite some people, or participate in a meetup, or start a meetup group and say, okay, I'm going to look and see what things are happening in my city. Here's something that looks like fun. Put it out there and people will show up. And you will have an opportunity to practice some of that self-care and to have some socializing during the holiday, so that you're not just feeling like you're the only one who's doing nothing. Quite the contrary. More people would prefer to do nothing than would to just constantly be engaged, because we're engaged, whether it's at work, on Zoom, in person, all of this talking and engaging sometimes gets a little tiring because it's the same type of engagement. So you have to break the monotony. Why not try something different? Something that you want to do. Don't allow the holiday to bring this unnecessary stress and anxiety that you don't need to carry or experience. You make this holiday season what you want it to be. You experience the joys of the holidays the way that you want to experience them. We all get joy out of different things. But the things that bring you joy, maybe it's just driving around to look at the lights. Maybe it's going to a fall festival. Maybe it's attending the symphony, the Nutcracker. You've never done that. You've always been like, oh, we went to see that in school when I was in 5th grade, but I want to see that myself now. Maybe it's just driving and seeing the fall leaves while they still exist, depending on where you live. Find the things that make you happy. Get out of your comfort zone and be willing to acknowledge the self-care that you need for yourself. While you are trying to experience and enjoy your holiday season, make sure that you eliminate the stressors and that you identify the things that make you happy, and then do those things. I'm Sage Hill, and you've been listening to The Soulcial Sage. It's been a pleasure, my treasures.